A wise otaku once said, "No matter the past that haunts them, no matter the smile or frown upon their face, no matter their shortcomings in life, all waifus are queens." Welcome to Fire Emblem 3 Houses Waifu Battle Royale. Our next battle is between the silent beauty Marianne versus the sweet-toothed prodigy Lysithea. It's the battle of the Golden Deer waifus. Will Marianne's prayers to the goddess be answered, or will Lysithea call the FBI before we finish? Let's not wait to find out. First up, Marianne. Quiet, reserved, Marianne mostly keeps to herself, leading to a lack of social skills and confidence. She has a strong faith in the goddess and the church, which means she prays daily to the goddess. She loves animals. When she takes care of the horse Dorothy, her hidden sweet personality shines through. She's very protective of that horse. She often blames herself for others' misfortunes, namely because she believes she is cursed. This is also the main reason why she keeps to herself, and it leads to a lot of self-loathing. Pros. Her design tells a lot about her character. Slightly sleep-deprived, as you can see the bags under her eyes, and a little depressed. Her hair being clumsily done adds to that narrative. She's very sweet and caring. By pushing people away, she believes that she is helping them. But as she opens up more, her kindness becomes more apparent. She finds different ways to show her kindness besides pushing people away. When she does open up to other students, she doesn't suddenly change character per se, but brightens up significantly as they help her overcome her self-doubt. The lore behind her crest and why she believes she's cursed is quite interesting and carries weight throughout her story. She's a pretty good healer. Granted, there are others that I prefer. Magic weapons are also a nice option for her. She's very versatile in the classes she can master. If you really like sad waifus, Marianne might take the cake. Because of her lack of social skills, smiling can be difficult for her, but when she does smile, it's the cutest thing you ever did see. Cons. Her lack of social skills also means she can be a tad bit scary at times. When she's mad, her face will show it. Even her resting face can be scary. However, I don't see this as a negative per se. In fact, I find it kind of hilarious and charming in a way. But I'm sure there are some who wouldn't want their waifus giving them murderous looks, and that's why I put it in the con section. But it's kind of a pro too. I'll admit she's a little one-note at times, usually blaming herself for even the slightest inconvenience. If you don't like sad characters, Marianne won't be the one for you. She doesn't say much at the beginning of the game, and can be quite brief in some conversations, mostly due to her inability to talk with others comfortably. That might bother some if they don't want to put in the work. Because of her versatile nature as a healer, she is not the strongest healer or the most powerful offensive attacker. She's kind of just down the middle when it comes to a unit. Not terrible, but also not great. Seeing Marianne's waifu potential takes time, at least beyond looks. Sure, she's cute and adorable. I mean, those are pretty two good pluses, but her self-deprecation and social awkwardness can be off-puttish. However, if you take the time to encourage her, you'll find how sweet and caring she can be. In that sense, she's more of a work in progress, or should I say, a waifu in progress. Okay, maybe that's not the best thing to say, but you know what I mean. She takes time. Teacher? I can't do this anymore. I'm holding the class back, and all I do is bring misfortune to others. I don't belong here. Sometimes, I wish I'd never been born at all. No! Snap out of it! You're kind, beautiful, and talented. You belong here just as much as any other student, even Lorenz. Hey, you are precious. Never forget that. Understood? Yes. What are you? I am, a precious sandwich. You're darn right. Thank you, teacher. I feel a little better now. Good. Now run along. Moments like that really make teaching worth it. That's him. That's the man who slapped me and made me into a sandwich. Yeah, in hindsight, I deserve this. If you put in the time, Marianne has some great moments, both in supports and battle. You just have to be willing to get past her sad waifu phase. In a way, Marianne might be similar to friends you have, or even yourself. People who are overly critical of themselves and always apologizing for the smallest inconveniences. You take the time to encourage them and help them learn self-love. because you care for them. And that's the case with Marianne. But can Marianne's sad waifu phase take down the big brain loli Lysithea? She's the youngest student at the academy, but potentially the smartest, hardworking and incredibly gifted. On top of that, she bears 2 crests, which helps with her magic abilities. However, she doesn't like being treated like a child and wants others to see her as an adult. Lysithea loves sweets. No one has a sweeter tooth than her, although she does try to hide it. Why? Because she thinks it makes her childish, which is absurd. I mean, sweets are enjoyed by any age group. Her past is also a bit tragic when you think about how she got those 2 crests, but she doesn't let it bother her. Pros: her pink eyes and white hair go great together, even if it's not natural. And I do mean that in more ways than one. Although being albino is not necessarily unnatural, it's just rare. While she might be incredibly gifted, she doesn't rest on her laurels, nor does she want to be known for that. She works hard to make sure her studying and training match her gifted talents, and I appreciate that. Speaking of, Lysithea is a monster dark mage. While the sight of the Death Knight strikes fear in the hearts of men, the mere mention of Lysithea's name haunts the Death Knight every waking moment. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that Lysithea is the most powerful magic user in the game. Who needs defense when you murder everything in one go? Her love for sweets is adorable. She even tries to bribe people with cake. The best way to bribe. Her voice actress in English is pretty good, but god tier in Japanese. Cons: she is basically a glass cannon. You might run in guns blazing, but without the proper meat shield, Lysithea could get wrecked, and the same with most mages. She comes off as a bit snobbish in some of her supports, mostly because she's trying to act like an adult, but of course she gets better as those supports strengthen. She can also be a little impatient with others if they get in her way. You cannot deny Lysithea's waifu appeal as a cute albino magic wielder. That raw power is so fun to exploit, watching her destroy every single knight on the map. It's beautiful. On top of that, she's smart and adorable. There's a reason she placed second in the female category of the Choose Your Hero poll for Fire Emblem Heroes. That said, I can see some finding her a little annoying, especially when she snaps at anyone who treats her like a child. And that's why mages should never run into the middle of the battlefield without backup. Very good, Lysithea. Here, have a cookie. Excuse me? You gave a good answer. Here's your reward. Do you think I'm a child? I can correctly answer questions and express my opinions without there being positive reinforcement. Thank you very much. I am much more mature than you think I am, Professor. Do you want the cookie or not? Yes, please. Homework for this weekend. First person to bring me intel on the Death Knight's whereabouts will get a slice of cake of their choosing. Have a good weekend. His head will be mine! For me, I tend to bash heads with people who act like they know everything, and while I don't think Lysithea reaches that level of obnoxiousness, there's occasionally moments where she's a little too aggressive with her intelligence, if that makes sense. However, Lysithea works tremendously hard to obtain the knowledge and power she has, second to only Annette's hard work. I can't blame her for being the smartest person on campus. Besides, her sweetness and overwhelming magical strength more than make up for her downsides. Is Lysithea's loli sweet tooth enough to win this battle of the Golden Deer, or does the waifu project Marianne reign on her parade? The winner is Marianne! You have no idea how tough this one was. Watching Marianne struggle with accepting herself only made me want to support her more. As you go about part 1, you catch glimpses of her breaking out of her shell in moments that can only be described as precious. Her self-defeating behavior doesn't magically disappear during part 1, but that's okay. Healing and changing oneself takes time. Even though her skills as a unit was slightly above average, especially compared to Lysithea, it's Marianne's growth as a person that won me over. Don't get me wrong, I really like Lysithea, especially her raw offensive power, and her adorable grown-up complex. She's an intelligent woman with the albino loli charm to win many hearts, if you're into that kind of thing. But Marianne's growth as a person, learning to accept herself and opening up to the people around her, puts her above Lysithea in my eyes. at least in part 1. Plus, I'd rather not have the FBI breathing down my neck. The waifu in progress Marianne narrowly wins and moves on to the next round. But don't worry, Lysithea fans, she can still make a comeback in the loser bracket. Feel free to let me know who you thought should have won in the comments below. Next time on Waifu Battle Royale, the silent ashen demon Byleth versus the bored silver-tongued Happy. Who will claim victory? Find out next time. Be sure to share these videos with your friends and let me know what you think of this matchup. Goodbye, you good people.